Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 21 video. In today's episode, we're going to be rebuilding the Cleveland Browns with the new addition of Jadeveon Clowney. And in my personal opinion, Clowney's pretty overrated. I really think so. If you look at his stats, he's never recorded double-digit sacks in a single season. And he's been in the league for 6 years. For being the number one overall pick in the draft, that is very, very bad in my opinion. If you're expected to be the number one overall pick in the draft, I expect you to be the best player in the draft class, and he was definitely not that in my opinion. So this is the overlook of the team, and as you can tell, this is why this team is a god tier in simulation. They just need to develop the quarterback, and yeah, this team's awesome either way. Defensively is not as good just because the linebackers may be defensive backs, but defensive line looks astonishing good, especially with the depth, and now having Jadeveon Clowney, Myles Garrett. I'm pretty sure they cut Richardson in real life, but at the time I was recording this, he was not cut, so disregard that, don't mind that at all. So let's get into the trades. So here we are with the first trade as we were trading away Olivier Vernon, Sheldon Richardson, and he was cut in real life, but at the time I was recording this, again, he was not, and Troy Hill for J.C. Jackson, a 4th round pick and a 5th round pick. I think this is a pretty solid trade, pretty fair in my opinion as well. Next, we're trading away a completely not really that fair. I was trading away a bunch of dead cap room that I definitely didn't need on this team. And I'm getting Avonte Maddox, who is 24 years old, star development. Definitely a good trade, in my opinion. Definitely fills the need of that defensive back spot, and I think we should be good. So this is the overlook of the team after the trades, and we are looking pretty good so far. And looking into it offensively, great on everything. Defensively, D-line is caught lacking a little bit at defensive tackle now, but I definitely didn't need him there. And Ronnie Harrison, I moved to outside linebacker because he was going to be a wasted potential second string strong safety, so I definitely don't need him there. So let's just get to the midseason. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Las Vegas Raiders, and looking into it, we are 6-2. Not a surprise there because the Browns are god tier in simulation, but looking into the re-signings here as well, this team's cap room is going to be the hard part of this rebuild, as J.C. Jackson isn't that big in the cap room, but we're still going to have to re-sign Baker Mayfield eventually and Nick Chubb, and we're going to probably have to give Odell an extension, I think, or we're also going to have to give Avonte Maddox too, man. Looking into the playoffs, we were coming off a loss to the Steelers, but we finished 12-4 here in the wild card, here to face the Chiefs, top of the division above the Baltimore Ravens. My Baltimore Ravens, oh my gosh, Baker Mayfield, 5,000 yards, MVP as well, first season, 45 touchdowns, best offense in the NFL. Come on, that has to be a record. And season-wise, looking into it, oh no, he's not 10th, he's 11th, I believe. Dude, he's like literally 20 or 30 yards off from being the 10th in passing yards in all time in a season. Only 7 interceptions as well. Nick Chubb, 11 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. A little bit underwhelming from someone who's almost a 99. Odell had a great season, 19 yards, absolute beast of a season. 19 touchdowns, my bad, not 19 yards. Beast of a season. Tackles for a loss goes to 15 for Myles Garrett, and sacks on the team is the freak Myles Garrett, 18 sacks, and receptions on the team is going to be 4 for John Johnson. Stupid name, I'm not going to lie. Who names their kid John after their last name being Johnson? This is the 3rd time, bro. 3rd time it's happened. I don't know why you would ever name your kid John Johnson. Really stupid name. Anyways, we're just going to simulate this wild card round against the Kansas City Chiefs to see if we can move on to the divisional round, and we can, here to face the 12-4 New England Patriots, as we are also 12-4, to see if we can move on to the conference championship. And I will hop in if we do make it, and we do make it, beating the Patriots 27-21. So I'm going to hop into this AFC championship game against the Chargers. Here we are in the AFC Championship as we are blowing out the Chargers really badly. This is why the Browns are simulation gods. 38-7, 41-7. 1 minute left in the game. 41-7 as we blow out the Chargers to move on to the Super Bowl. So here we are in the Super Bowl as we are playing the 10-6 Arizona Cardinals against Kyler Murray. Both quarterbacks from not the same draft class. I think Baker Mayfield was the year before, but still very young quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield now is superstar development. Odell Beckham Jr. now has superstar X factor, and looking into it defensively, everyone looks the exact same on defensively, but we are more well-rounded, I believe. No, we're definitely more well-rounded on offense. So, anyways, guys, on that, let's get into the Super Bowl. Here we are in the Super Bowl as we are beating the Cardinals 20-6, and that will be your final score. 20-6, not very high scoring game, not very interesting anyways. Doesn't really matter, but we do beat them, of course. So let's just get to the MVP. And your Super Bowl MVP is going to be Takk McKinley, surprisingly. 3 tackles, 2 sacks. Very underwhelming Super Bowl MVP there, I'm not going to lie. So let's just get to the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as the Browns beat the Cardinals. Of course, we beat them. Not much of a rebuild considering what we won in year 1. Baker Mayfield wins MVP, and I don't really see much other awards other than that, actually. So let's look into the retirements, looking into the AFC North. Big Ben retires, who cares? And looking into the re-signings here, and it looks like Jadeveon Clowney is here. Why did I not see that before? I didn't show up before. I don't know why that's not showing up now. Let's extend him and get his contract salary up because he is the entire point of this rebuild as he re-signs with the team. The entire point of this rebuild is to keep Jadeveon Clowney on the team, so that's, of course, why I re-signed him. I don't necessarily like Jadeveon Clowney on this team. He didn't put up numbers, especially like Myles Garrett, and he wants money like Myles Garrett. So I didn't really like that signing, but of course I have to re-sign him because that's the entire point, as I said before. But anyways, guys, I'm rambling on like I always do. So other than that, guys, we're going to upgrade these players here. Let the CPU upgrade them. So let's just get into free agency. So we are in free agency, and we do have a little bit of money, but I would honestly rather spend that on players for the future reference. So let's just get to the draft. So we are on the draft, trading away David Njoku, a 3rd and a 7 for a new defensive tackle who we don't necessarily have to pay yet, and we don't need David Njoku. We have Austin Hooper, and David Njoku always hits free agency, so I really just don't need him. So anyways, let's just get into the draft. So before we get into the draft, I'm making another trade. Jarvis Landry, Kareem Hunt for a 1st-round pick. Jarvis Landry takes some more cap room than Odell. He didn't do much last season. Kareem Hunt, I don't need. I have Nick Chubb. They're both as well. Get value out of them, but it's not that great a value, honestly. So I did not think we were going to get this much of a stud of a defensive tackle. 77 overall, hidden development. I honestly didn't expect it. Probably wouldn't have made that trade, but still good. And this is the overlook of the team after the draft. Odell is going to have to carry the receiving core. Rashad Higgins and, well, actually Austin Hooper is here as well, so I don't think it will be that bad. But defensive line is looking way better than it was before, and honestly, we are looking way better in a way better position than we were before. Got a new middle linebacker in the draft who wasn't that impressive, so let's just get to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Pittsburgh Steelers as we are 6-1, top of the division above the 4-3 Baltimore Ravens. I'm stumbling and fumbling my words, just like every rebuild if you guys know me. And Nick Chubb is here, 99 overall, superstar X Factor. Of course, we want to keep him around, up the salary, and he wants more money. He's being greedy. Wyatt Teller, ooh my gosh. This is going to be a lot of money. I don't think I can. I probably won't be able to re-sign Wyatt Teller. That's probably why he's always in free agency. But Deron Payne, just traded for him, of course. We got to keep him around. But Ronnie Harrison, oh my gosh. No, I'm not going to give you that. Ronnie Harrison wants to be paid $13 million or $12 million a year, and he's not even 85 overall. No, thank you. So Deron Payne is back on the team, and Avonte Maddox, I definitely want him. Ooh, that's really cheap, actually. I'd much rather have you than Harrison over here. Ronnie Harrison out here wants $12 million to $13 million a year, and he's not even 85 overall. That seems ridiculous to me. I'm not going to re-sign him. I'll hold on to my money and see what I can do at the offseason. So for right now, let's just jump into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, actually getting a first-round bye, coming off a win to the Denver Broncos. 13-3, absolute beast. Baker Mayfield, that has to be another MVP. Show it to me. Baker Mayfield, MVP, Baker Mayfield back-to-back. Best offense in the NFL. Simulation gods here. Browns are actually working in my favor when I use them. Second best defense as well, so that's great to see. And 47 touchdowns, only 9 interceptions as well. Nick Chubb, only 6 TDs, 1,200 yards. I would expect him much more from a 99 overall player. And Donovan Peoples-Jones really carrying it with Austin Hooper. 14 touchdowns for Rashard Higgins. We definitely did not need Jarvis Landry. I am so glad I made that trade. Doing so much better without him, honestly. And Anthony Walker Jr. with the most tackles. Tackles for a loss, 25 for Myles Garrett. That's quite a bit. Sacks on team, 14 for Myles Garrett as well. Interceptions is 4 for John Johnson. Amazing name. And safety is on team is 1 for Deron Payne. And defensive touchdowns on team is going to be 1 for Jadeveon Clowney and Ronnie Harrison Jr. So anyways, guys, other than that, we are going to simulate this first round bye, and then we are probably going to simulate the rest of it. Honestly, I'm not going to jump in. We've already won the Super Bowl in year one. Not much of a rebuild, but we might as well do it since Jadeveon Clowney is here, as we are here to face the Las Vegas Raiders to see if we can move on. And of course, we lose to a 9-7 team, because that makes a lot of sense. So anyways, let's just get to the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Raiders, as they have similar logos. Pretty sure they're like a similar team overall in general. But we won Coach of the Year, and we got Baker Mayfield an MVP. But looking into it, it looks like Calais Campbell retires as a Raven or on the Ravens. Either way, it doesn't matter. However you like to say it. So yeah, I'm stumbling and fumbling as I always am. Nick Chubb, I need to keep him on the team. 99 overall, superstar X Factor. I got rid of Kareem Hunt. He needs to stay. It needs to be a thing. And I up his bonus, and he stays with the team. Wyatt Teller, I cannot do. I can't do any of these guys here. We're really low on cap. I'll have to fill the position in free agency maybe if I could. Wyatt Teller's just too expensive for my taste, and the offensive line is already great as it is. Baker Mayfield is almost a 99 overall, 98 with morale, 96 without it, and he's going to go up into field general, and I'm going to give him gambler now that he is an X Factor, because of course he got an X Factor. He just won back-to-back MVPs. Why would you not give him an X Factor? Going to give him no look Deadeye, and of course gunslinger and protected. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm only doing this, it doesn't really affect simulation. I'm only doing this just because if I hop into the game, I would like these abilities to be on him. It would just be convenient for me. So anyways, guys, let's jump into free agency. Here we are in free agency as we only have 1.16 mil, and that obviously really can't get you anything. So I'll auto upgrade some players with the CPU, and we'll just jump into the draft. So other than that, guys, let's get into it. We're picking up a center, 71 overall, normal development. I'm going to replace him for Wyatt Teller and move him into the guard position. Definitely not as good, but I guess he'll get the job done. So this is the overlook of the team after the draft, as our center goes from a 71 to a 72 when moving to center to guard. And defensively, we have kind of regressed a little bit, I'm not going to lie, on the edge position as well. But overall, we can't really do much. There's a lot of young players on the team that we still need to pay, I'm not going to lie. So here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a win to the Pittsburgh Steelers. As always, are we 6-2? No, 5-2. Second in the division behind the Bengals, who we happen to play this week. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak at all during any of my rebuilds. I don't know what's up, but all of these guys, yeah, this is going to be a massive contract for Baker. Mayfield needs to stay number one. Let's make that our top priority. And he still wants even more money after boosting the salary. Denzel Ward is here. John Johnson, I'll give him a contract. We have a lot of money because these players are the next up players that need to be signed. John Johnson, as he stays with the team, and Denzel Ward, we will see what he wants, $13 million a year. Oh, yikes. I really do want him, though. We do have JC, and we have Avonte Maddox. I will see what I can do with Denzel Ward here. I will re-sign him, but we might lose a lot of O-linemen here. Or I could do the cheesy thing where I just sign all the O-linemen, then tag Baker in the final season, because we don't need to worry about Baker in the final season at all. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. So anyways, guys, let's jump into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs with another first-round bye, coming off a win to the New England Patriots. Looking into, oh my gosh, this team is wreaking havoc. Baker Mayfield, show it to me again. That's Player of the Week, and he won a Player of the Week, by the way. And Baker Mayfield, third MVP in a row. Baker Mayfield is built different with Odell. Best offense in the NFL. Simulation gods and eighth best defense. Not surprised. Baker Mayfield, 4,700 yards, 44 TDs, and 11 interceptions. Nick Chubb, finally the year that I wanted from him. Almost 1,500 yards. Donovan Peoples-Jones is popping off. 11 TDs. Beckham with 11 TDs as well. Anthony Walker Jr., as always, the most tackles. Tackles for a loss, 16 for Myles Garrett. And sacks on the team, 19.5 for Myles Garrett. What a freak. Interceptions, 3 for John Johnson once again. And safeties on the team is going to be 1 for Garrett and Payne. And defensive touchdowns on the team is going to be 1 for John Johnson. So anyways, guys, we're just going to simulate this wild card round, first round bye, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to see who we are going to be playing the divisional. But if you guys have made it this far in the video, make sure you do like and or subscribe. Definitely helps out the channel. Definitely helps push this out. I don't think a lot of you guys have made it this far because of my commentary. It has been that great, but we are here to face the Bengals in the conference championship to see if we can move on to the Super Bowl. I'm just going to simulate the Super Bowl probably because we don't really need to worry about it if we do make it. I don't know if we will actually, and the simulation is taking a really long time, which I don't like, and we do. Okay, and we're here to face the Saints. Okay, little interesting. I don't really know. I don't really think I should. Baker Mayfield, X Factor. Donovan Peoples-Jones is now a superstar player. He was a star last year for having that kind of a season. And looking into it, defensively, we do look like we've regressed a little bit, but I think we'll be okay for now. So, yeah, I'm just going to simulate this game against the New Orleans Saints to see what we can get into. And I'll see you in the offseason. Here we are in the offseason as we beat the New Orleans Saints 35-28. Baker Mayfield wins the MVP once again in Super Bowl and the league. And I didn't even need to do anything. That was just all simulation there. And looking into it, AFC North, 2 Steelers players retired, and Richard Sherman and Cameron Hayward. And we should be pretty good. And looking into Baker Mayfield's contract, I'm going to do the cheesy thing. I'm going to cut his contract to really, really short, and then I will tag him at the end. I believe that's the best way to do it. Or could I just sign him here? No, I don't know what I want to do here. This is really hard because I do want the O-line, because O-line does affect simulation now. In Madden 20, it didn't. But he wants to join free agency, so I will definitely not allow him to do that. I will tag him. Joel Bitonio, if that's how you pronounce it. I definitely want him back in 92 overall. We're only going to be playing 1 more year, so might as well just spread out their contract to 5-year deals. J.C. Treader, I definitely want you back as an 87 overall with Morales center. And does he resign? He does. Jack Conklin, I definitely am back as well. He may be regressing, but again, final season, up the salary, and will he resign with the team as he does? Rashard Higgins, no, and I don't need a fullback. Greedy Williams is kind of a bust. And Baker Mayfield here, going to tag him, going to be in big negative cap room, doesn't matter, going to be the final season, so let's just move into free agency. Obviously, we can't get anything in free agency after tagging Baker Mayfield like that, so I definitely will not even bother with that. So other than that, guys, let's move into the draft. Here we go in the draft, picking up a strong safety. I was planning him to move him down to linebacker, but I realized he's really not that good. So looking into the offense, we are great even without Wyatt Teller at right guard. Our new right guard has developed pretty nicely, and defensively, we kind of look the same as always. This team has actually been relatively realistic, maybe other than J.C. Jackson, Avonte Maddox, and trading away a couple players, but I could honestly care less. So anyways, guys, let's get to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark, coming off a loss to the Indianapolis Colts, as we are top of the division once again, because we are just studs like that. The Cleveland Browns are just awesome in every single way, and looking into it, we don't need to re-sign anybody because it is the final season. I'm so glad what I did with the franchise tag, so let's just move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off a win to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and look who we are here to play, the Colts, who I was just talking about. Top of the division, Baker Mayfield, almost another 5,000-yard season. Show me it. Oh my gosh, third in MVP race. If I had a rebuild with 4 MVPs in a row, that would be insane. Best offense in the NFL and best defense in the NFL as well. Baker Mayfield, almost 5,000 yards, 37 TDs, only 3 interceptions is great. Nick Chubb playing at a 99 overall level, beast. Paul Taylor, the rookie, I believe, was a stud. Oh my gosh, definitely don't need Jarvis Landry when we got these guys, and Austin Hooper and Odell Beckham Jr., all greats. Ben Watkins, a new rookie middle linebacker with the most tackles on team, most tackles for a loss, Deron Payne, sacks 19.5 for Myles Garrett, and 14 for Jadeveon Clowney. Finally, he's putting up numbers. Jadeveon Clowney really didn't do anything in this rebuild until now. Safeties on the team is going to be 0, and defensive touchdowns on the team is going to be 0. So other than that, guys, we are almost done with this rebuild. I just need to simulate to the end of the season, and then, yeah, we should be good, but this is already a successful rebuild. If you guys have made it this far into the video, I'd be surprised, but this is still a really, really good rebuild just because the Browns are absolute studs in simulation. There's no other way to put it, as we not really kill the Colts, but still we beat them. We're here to face the 9-7 Dolphins to see if we can move on to the conference championship, and we do. Here to see if we can beat the Bengals to move on to the Super Bowl. Could we beat the Bengals? Conference championship? No. It's going to be the Bengals and the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. So I guess that would do it for this video, guys. I thank you guys all for watching this video. Thank you guys all for enjoying it. If you have made it this far in this video, I really do appreciate you. But again, guys, Tell me what team you want me to do next. It would definitely be appreciated. Team's looking great. Paul Taylor is now a star development. And anyways, guys, definitely a successful rebuild. I'll see you guys in the next one.